We are absolutely winning right now. Absolutely. We have done more than change the conversation. We changed the balance of power in the federal government.
But if man had to find out that his God was a woman,
I say the black woman is God, and
Black woman is God.
I say the black woman is God.
The black woman is God because, she was the first organism on this planet.
I let love slip away. Now all that I can say, love, oh love, oh love, oh love, oh love. Love, oh love, oh love, oh love, oh love. Love, oh love, oh love, oh love, oh love. Love, oh love, oh love, oh love, oh love. Love, oh love, oh love, oh love, oh love. Love, oh love, oh love, oh love, oh love. Love, oh love, oh love, oh love, oh love. Love, oh love, oh love, oh love, oh love. I let love slip away. Now all that I can say,
How we feeling out there this morning, y'all? Can I get a couple extra likes in the chat? Can we get a couple of extra likes up in the chat? How's everybody doing today, man? Shout out to all the black women listening out there. This show is dedicated to y'all, by the way. We are dedicating today's show to the black woman. Yes, we are. We are. It's your show. This is your thing. Step back and take a bow. I want you ladies to step back and take a bow and congratulate yourselves on the work that you've done. I want you to look at the image of the black man who was willing to prostrate himself for your benefit because you said you wanted it, right? Ladies, you're welcome. I hope you finally got the black men that you deserve. We're going to take a look at these guys right now, ladies. We are going to take a look at these black men that you say you want. Shout out to the chat coming through early. My man Dolomite putting a few dollars in the hat. Thank you, Dolomite, with the $2. Appreciate y'all coming through. Do hit that like button for me, guys.
Give me the money. Give me the money for I will do. Give me the money.
Give me the money or I will shoot. These are the rules. Shout out to Angry Snowman with the $10. Since it's Black History Month and you let me say the N-word the other day, here's a couple shekels. Oh, look, I'm getting reparations. Listen, it costs a lot of money to drop an N-bomb in Black History Month, all right?
It costs a lot of money to bring.
Cost a whole lot of money, all right? Shout out to Angry Snowman coming through, smashing that super chat button early, y'all.
Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry. You not like Hulk angry. Hulk no like fighting girls.
But I want to get to this review now. I have to get to this review. Let me prep the table a little bit for you guys. I mean, listen. I gave you a trigger warning in the title. All right? I gave you niggas fair warning, beware. Shit's trash already. Shit's awful. It's terrible work. I can't believe these are black men. Somehow I'm like theoretically associated with these niggas. I can't believe this shit. But I got to bring you to work. All right? I got to bring you to work, man. Nobody else wants you to see the truth.
Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
Let me give you a little preview of what we're up against, y'all. This is what they want from you. This is the new image of the modern acceptable black man. These are like definitional safe Negroes.
Come on, but go ahead.
The one thing that I just want to talk about in Luke, make sure I say the name right, crop this part out. Okay. What Luke brought up was like accountability. Like, yes, we can talk about, you know, what our families did to us, all this, all that. But eventually, and I know why people try and say this, and I really don't like that, but eventually it comes a point where you have to decide, how do I want to live my life? I haven't talked to my daddy in 6 years. I don't give a fuck about what my family has gone through. I know where I will go. So it's like, you know, you can only say that for so long. Black women are tired and, you know, kind of like putting onto them like, hey, like, you didn't do this entirely, because everybody in here, several people have talked about like, you know, going to counseling. Have that upon yourself. Stop waiting for a woman to tell you what you need to do. Take that upon yourself.
Let me address that real quickly. For me, I didn't know fucking how to
Can I say one more thing? No, I have to say this, because another thing that happens is too, you live your life for so long, and I'm not meaning no disrespect by this.
It's all right, just say it, bro.
But when you hit your 60s and your 70s, I want to be right.
Okay, but let me.
I want to live my life right. I want someone to take care of me and protect me, and that's what a lot of women have issues with. I'm living it right.
So we have this, obviously a homosexual up here lecturing the quote old elder guy, telling him how to be a better black man. He is the voice of the black woman in this panel, which is ironic as hell. He represents the black woman in the panel right now. He speaks on behalf of the black women.
And well, guys, if I could still show you around, here is the biggest, gayest man in the world.
Wow. So gay. So gay. So gay.
Why are you here? The entire conversation is about black men respecting black women What does the voice of the gay black man have? Like, why is he in this conversation? But you know, it's not my show, not my house. This is how them niggas roll.
What the fuck now?
As I said,
Listen to
I
what I'm
said 60s and 70s.
Let me say this.
Don't overtalk
I'm
me.
gonna fucking overtalk you
I'm
because
good,
you're talking out
but
of
you're
line,
not
nigga.
gonna disrespect
You don't know
me.
what the fuck you talking
Oh, I
about.
am.
I just
I
learned
do.
to love at 60,
I do.
bro. You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Oh, I do.
Because you can't
I
fix
do.
no shit.
I
You don't
do.
know it, nigga.
I do.
Pinky about to fight this homosexual. I didn't think pimps was supposed to be out there fighting with homosexuals. Pinky about to be up here wrestling with a big, tall homosexual. Why would you be out there? See, this is why you don't need them niggas in the panel. Yeah, that is Clifton Powell. That is Pinky from Friday. And he about to get physical with a big, tall homosexual. I don't think this is a good look. I don't think this is pimping. This is not pimping.
Good. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Fuck out of here. I'm living. You can't tell me what the fuck I'm living, nigga. I'm living it right now. You cannot fix no shit that you don't even know is happening.
I think there's a misunderstanding.
No, but you. But he's generalizing. You can't. No, listen, bro. Let me stop. This is what it is. Let's get to the truth of this shit. You can't fix no shit unless you meet somebody who is on another level to help you elevate to understand. I'm not indicting anybody. I'm telling you what the shit is. You can't fix some shit that you don't know about, bro.
Yeah.
You can't. And then you get there at 69 or 70 and say, I thought I was being loved and all this stuff. That's what our parents have gone through. And that's why we all so fucked up right now.
You asked, how do we love black women?
Yeah.
That's right here. Trust black women and listen to black women because they know more than we do what it is that they need.
I don't think that's true either.
As men,
there's a lot of black women who don't know how to love.
I'm not talking about what they know how to love. I'm saying what they need as far as.
What is that guy? All right, in a conversation, which is theoretically black men learning to trust or love black, whatever the point of this is, what the hell is that guy? First, you showed me a heterosexual, and now I don't even know what that guy is. This nigga look like Aladdin. This nigga look like he be on a terrorist watch list. Why is he here, bro? Why do you got the Habibi nigga up in here? They got a whole Habibi up here. What is this? What are we doing? DEI black men panel. They done DEI'd black men. Holy shit. We got gays and immigrants up in here. They done DEI'd the black men conversation. I knew, listen, I tried to tell you, you thought the white man was the only DEI target. Nope. Once they get comfortable DEIing on the white man, they're going to put that DEI on you too. They done DEI'd the black man panel already. These are some DEI niggas. Got a whole diversity crew up in here.
I get that.
We're talking about, that's what we're talking about right now. Also, if we're going to use our privilege and power as men in society, how do we show up and be accountable? Like you said, the way to be accountable is to dismantle patriarchy, because patriarchy makes it so that men have the power and women do not.
But you can't get there.
So obviously dismantling patriarchy is what they're about, because, you know, these are DEI black men. These are like safe, approved Negroes, basically. The new liberal Negro. All right, so I gave you fair warning, y'all. And by the way, this panel is produced by a cooperative effort, a channel called Sister Song, Woman of Color. I never heard of her before. And then another channel called The Conscious Lee. I know of The Conscious Lee. He's on this panel, and Like I said, it's trash already, man. It's trash already, but I'm here for it.
We are smarter when we listen to black women. Not because all black women are right, but because all black women deserve to be heard.
The main thing is trusting black women, but how do we get ourselves as men fixed to be able to love them the way they need to be loved?
How do y'all think about?
Now, right off the bat, I got to tell you, I take issue with the very notion of automatically pathologizing all black men, as if all black men need to learn how to love black women better. Like this is the black man's real problem. Like if you niggas could just learn how to love better, everything would be all right. Like there's an automatic pathologizing of black men. And by the way, guys, if you're watching on the main channel, I keep posting links in the chat. The chat is actually closed on the main channel because I'm going to shut that entire video down in a minute. And you guys need to funnel over to the link in the chat. We have to revive the Hoodservative Live channel, y'all. The Hoodservative Live is where we are going right now. We got the vertical up over there. We got the chat open over there. There's food, there's drinks. I got a bowl of grapes and strawberries right now. There's snacks and shit. Might bust out the chart. What's it called? The charcuterie board? Charcuterie. I might bust all that shit out, but you got to move to the other channel. We're going to shut down the main channel in a few more minutes. I'm just funneling everybody over. We got to get back on program. The Hoodservative Live is back.
Safety outside of just I'm the protector. You know what I'm saying? How do we build that?
Patriarchy is not good. The system of domination for women is not good. But a lot of us buy into that.
So I got a question I want to ask you. These are all things that don't allow women to come and open up to us because we are ready to play football every goddamn time.
That's how I'm gonna make my wife feel safe. She wants to know that in any conversation, I ain't gonna just be like, all right, I gotta go outside and smoke real quick. Like, I ain't, you know, she wants to feel safe.
You can't be a natural protector. You are the one that's causing harm.
A lot of men don't got shit to contribute. If you can't even commit marriage to a motherfucking woman, what makes you think that she wants to commit to having a baby?
And the reward for being disciplined is the outcome of what makes men so great and what makes men be able to understand.
I think we on to something here. I think we on to something.
All right, so we rolling. So this the thing. We done came together. We done been brought together. We got Sister Song. You know, Sister Song is the homies, and they are doing some revolutionary work. I mean, 2025, let's just be real, has been full of some weird shit, some fuck shit. It's been just some strange shit this year, you know, and Black people being attacked left and right, our stories, our educational institutions, our safe places, and our power. And that's my thing, you know. I got an organization called Build Power. So I'm really about power, and it's from the legacy of the Black Power movement. And I don't think you can get any closer to power than the person who birthed it. Right. Yes. The Black woman, right? Yes. A lot of the time it's Black men that stand in the way of it, right? That get in the way of, you know, what we're supposed to be empowering, what we're supposed to be collaborating with. And so when we're thinking about things like, you know, Sister Song is steeped in reproductive justice. And when we talk about reproductive justice, it's the human right for bodily autonomy. Now, here's the thing.
Now, right away, this conversation about Black men trusting Black women, the very first topic that they put on the table is quote unquote reproductive justice. Do Black men get reproductive justice? Can I get some sperm justice? Does my skeet deserve freedom? Out here oppressing my skeet. They oppressing my skeet. I don't get no reproductive justice. What are they doing? The very first topic is reproductive justice. What does that even mean? Trust Black women to to terminate pregnancies. That's what they really, the first thing out of their mouths is trust Black women to terminate a pregnancy and call it freedom. Freedom.
You know, I get into all the academic terms and then I get confused. So we're going to get into it for real about what this means to us, what the human right to bodily autonomy, the human right to have kids, to not have kids, to parent kids in a healthy environment, to set up that environment, and what goes into that actually means to us. And I want to make sure that, you know, the way we're talking about it, other people can understand it, because I know for a fact, if people came to me however many years ago and was like, hey, what you think about reproductive justice? I would have a very confused look on my face. And I'm like, I don't know exactly what that means and how we engage with it, but everybody here comes from a different perspective, a different life, a different experiences, and we want to bring that to this conversation. So I know that there's no way to get there without the empowerment of Black women and centering Black women in that power talk, in that power struggle, in that power strategy, in that movement, in our behavior. And
this is the problem with the entire reproductive justice argument. First off, shout out to my man JH Marvelous with the 199. Here's some anti-rainbow shekels for Blacked Out Month. Yeah, they get really gay every Black History Month. I'm noticing a trend now. Every Black History Month, they just get a little more gay.
That nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay.
They do. Every Black History Month gets a little gayer. And then, oh, hold on. True Hype with the 5. He says that I always take umbrage with the framing of these discussions. They start off with you having to apologize. And if I'm not wrong, why I got to apologize. Listen, Black feminism and frankly, Black liberals in general look at straight Black men as something like white men. The fact that you're straight makes you something like the white man. Yeah, it's real shit. If you believe in two genders, if you believe in Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve, if you believe God over man, over woman, over child, they effectively see you as a white man, something like a white man. And that's just how they roll. That's how they're going to give it up to you.
I hit a woman for the first time in my life, and I'm having fun.
What in y'all's eyes does that mean to you? Like, from y'all's experience, what's your connection to or experience with reproductive justice, and what does that actually mean to you? Anybody should kick in.
As a father, you fall deeply in love with parenting, right? And what that means, and understanding the responsibility that it takes. But you also learn as a father, the mother ends up doing so much more than what you can offer sometimes. And it's just facts. You don't have breasts to feed this baby. You don't have the kind of just natural intellect to kind of carry things. That's why a lot of fathers just say, here you go, I don't know what to do, right? So I think for one, it's just accepting that, understanding that you are there to help produce and provide, but then there's gonna be so much more that you can't, provide. And so just trying to be a support system around whatever your spouse or your girlfriend at the time is choosing to do with their body. It's something that I've learned over the years, personal experiences from having to make that decision to have an abortion.
How did you make the decision? I thought it was her body, her choice, right? Did you actually make a decision, or did she make a decision and you just like, all right, well, I guess that's what you're going to do? And if it's all, never mind the morality of it, because obviously all of these niggas are godless heathens, right? Never mind the morality. I'm not even going to get into the apologetics and all that. And, you're all godless heathens, so it is what it is. But being a godless heathen, how does it benefit? Why does it matter to you that you have, like, not matter to, but like, what's the benefit from you supporting her in this? Like, it's her right. If that's what she's going to do, and you have no say so, you have no right. The only opinion you should ever have on it is thumbs up. You go, girl. Why are you even talking about it? Just let them go off and have the procedure and never speak on it. Don't support it. Don't mention it. Why do you have to cheerlead it? Is what I'm saying. Like, it's bad enough that they're doing it. It's bad enough that it gets seen as like a type of right. It's literally like a right for them. But you have to be a cheerleader now? Why? Why do you have to be an unpaid cheerleader? I don't get that. I really don't. I can't be a cheerleader.
You know, with your girlfriend at a young age to end up feeling like that you didn't have a say-so in it, right? And then understanding as a man where you don't. Once you decide to go into that position and you put your seed into this woman, now that's her decision where to go. You can't say, well, I don't want no baby, or you can't have it. No, you should have thought about that before you go. Right. So teaching my son that, right, and understanding that you have a decision very early on in the process, but later on you don't. And if you decide to go through with it, then you need to be ready to support and provide and do the things that you need to do. So that's kind of been my learning curve over the situation. And then just feeling horrible for.
And you know, this quote, reproductive justice issue, it's just another attempt to psychologically cuck you as a Black man. There is no greater cucking than having a woman violently eject your sperm from her body. And this is an attempt to get you as the man. And you know what's so hilarious? I'm going to show you a picture of this guy real quick. Let me show you this guy's image on the screen. He has a gold chain on, and all he has is literally the symbol N. He's wearing the N chain. And he's psychologically cucked with a gold chain that says N. You can't make this shit up. Sometimes life just gives you memes. This nigga is a cuck.
As we was talking off camera about all the women who've lost their lives in this situation and not being able to have the medicine that they need. And not only around, you know, reproduction and having babies, but even down to like fibroids, right? My wife struggles with that. And Black women
What
not
do
having
fibroids have to do with even reproductive? Like, y'all just throwing shit in there now.
the information that they need to figure out how to get rid of the fibroids and all those type of things. So whatever we can do to just kind of lean in and learn and listen, that's what I've been like. Same thing. If somebody would have asked me a couple of years ago, I said, oh, I guess my perspective may have been different, but now we're in a time where you really just want to have a different understanding. I teach my son that, you know, and then also my daughter, you know, what decision she has to make before she lays down with somebody and how it can change your life, right?
So it's incumbent upon you to have that information if your desire is to be a father, is to understand the woman's point of view and the things that they go through. We think of a lot of things that we go through, our upbringing, not having.
And I gotta tell you, you know, they do have like Clifton Powell up there from you know, the Friday movies or whatever, and they got the dude Consciously up there. But these just look like a bunch of safe house Negroes. It's like modern Democrats, liberals, like they are the new house Negroes. Like, ironically, you are the Negroes that are most appealing to liberal white people. These are like white women's versions of cool black people.
Having a father or having a father, all our experiences and the dream of being a father, you know, and having a son or a daughter, and what kind of father you want to be. All of that comes to mind, but before inception, those thoughts never came to me in the sense of what she would go through, you know. How.
And I notice every time there's really like an attempt to have some type of gender discussion by any mainstream figures. It's always a very one-directional conversation. You know, how can we be better for you, my queen? How can I make your life a little bit easier, my queen? Tell me all the ways that I could love you more, my queen.
How would I handle being in a waiting room and being told something and not knowing the information? Who do I lean on? All those things that come to mind that happen when you're in the delivery room, or the process of having a baby or having a healthy delivery and all of that stuff. And then, you know, I think it's absolutely important for us to have these types of conversations and have these thoughts leading up into the idea and actualizing fatherhood. You know, I think we center ourselves, you know, the patriarchy of it all, we center ourselves, you know, we're the ones that make it happen.
Black men talking about patriarchy is just ironic to me. Do you niggas even know what it is? Like, when I hear these niggas talk about patriarchy, I feel like it's some shit like a feminist described to them one day. And so now they just have like this like reflexive hate for it, which is also why they believe in authority without responsibility. Shout out to True Hype with the $2. Responsibility with no authority equals slavery. And there is something to be said about that. You know, this kind of slave morality that these men are attempting to exhibit. They are approaching Black women with something like slave morality, you know? If I only work harder for Massa, my life will eventually get better because Massa's life will get better. This is basically slave morality for modern Black men. And ironically enough, the Black woman has replaced the white man as the new Massa. You can't make this shit up. That's why I'm here to explain it to you in very intricate, minute detail. Ironically enough, the Black woman has replaced the white man, symbolically though, as the new master. She is your master. And so this is why when these Black men, these public, well-known, safe indoor niggas, these fucking house cat niggas, when they get together and talk about issues, they always have to pathologize the average Black man as somehow not enough for the Black woman. He's coming up short. He can't get right. He needs to love more, love harder, love longer, love faster. He needs to do it all. They never come from the other side of the equation like, well, maybe they need to be corrected too. Maybe these women have a pathology too. You never get to that. You never ever get to that. It's only and always and ever will be a one-directional conversation. And like the meme says, all these niggas gonna be yours one day, Keisha. And I said it to y'all earlier. Today, this show is about you, Keisha. I hope you're happy. Keisha, I hope you're happy at the niggas you have created. These are the Black men who have molded themselves. They have carved themselves out of ebony, whittled themselves down into little indoor house cat niggas. They're all safe and hairless and shit for you. I hope you're happy. This is what you asked for, isn't it?
Say something. I was raised by women.
Right.
And I ran into some brothers a couple of years, last year, when we were running for election, who felt like Kamala couldn't lead.
Crazy.
I said, but your mother ran the house.
Right.
And my mother tragically died when I was 4.
A lot of our mothers ran the house, and a lot of the kids run away. The houses aren't well run. We have to stop standing on that your mom led the house bullshit. Was the house well run or not? Did the kids go off to be productive, married professionals or whatever? Don't just tell me that she led the house. What happened in the house? Were there abusers in the house? Did you have secrets in the house you couldn't tell no outsiders? because mama led the house. They always want to stand on that shit like mama did it all right. These houses are not well run. And I'm tired of pretending like they are, damn it.
But my sister who raised me was a gangster. Could take $1 and balance the budget like in 25 minutes, $100. So I think that in order to trust Black women, we gotta kind of like, I think you and I were talking about, or no, I was talking to my driver on the way over about holding yourselves accountable. 81% of people don't talk, and Black men have to talk to the women. And a lot of the women, and it's not 80% of 81% of women, it's 81% of people don't talk. So I think it starts with a dialogue. But I can personally tell you, I can't imagine walking around with another person inside of me. And I think that we have to yield to women. And I don't think the government can tell you if you were raped. I mean,
Yielding to women is exactly what got us into this picture. And this is like a very reflexive position that these guys have. We have to yield to the women. We have to always give way to the woman. Do they approach the idea of men asserting themselves and the women yielding to the men? I don't think there's ever a position that these men would raise where the women would have to yield to the men, but they expect the men to constantly yield to the women. What kind of men have to always give way to the women? Where did you find that in the book of man shit? And by the way, I said earlier, if you guys are watching from the main Hoodservative channel, I have been spamming a link in the chat. I need you guys to move over to the next channel. We're going to stay live on the Hoodservative live channel. I need you guys to move over. Actually, I got the redirect set up because I'm going to end that particular stream in just like 5 more minutes. I just want to get you guys filtered over to the next channel. But I want you to know the chat is closed because I want you to hit that link, get over to the Hoodservative live channel. Got to get those numbers back up. They tried to knock my block off, but we're not going. Hold on, stand by 1 second, you guys. Having some technical difficulty here.
talking about if you were raped or molested, that you have to have that child. I don't think the government should have any say in that. Along with women having a choice of their bodies, we also have to teach our daughters and sons how to be responsible. Not rely on the plan B, you know, because abortion shouldn't be used just so you can all go out and have a good time. Whether, because we walk away, you know, but women have to deal with the body, the change of your body. It's so much. I tell my girl all the time, I couldn't do it.
Clifton just admitted that he ain't shit nigga. What you mean we walk away? Nigga, you walk away. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. You walk away. Be tagging me with shit like that. Talking about we walk away. No, the fuck we don't. You did.
Just having a menstrual cycle. I would say, God, can y'all let mine come every like once a year? I could pay somebody once a year because I watch my girl go through the changes emotionally, and not just physically, but it's a lot of shit women go through. So I think men, honestly, I think men need to sit down, shut the fuck up. It's a lot that we don't see because if you weren't raised that way, you don't know. It's like you listening to you guys trying to be good husbands. But the women got to let us in, and we can't tell them what to do. And I think this government has to step back and let women make choices for themselves.
Women are the first wonder of the world. Despite what's said, it's the first
This goofy nigga. This goofy fail rapper looking ass nigga. I bet you this nigga got a SoundCloud account and a mixtape out.
I'm telling you, man. This the reason why I be hating niggas, man. I'm telling you, man. It just be us. I be hating niggas, man.
World.
But if man had to find out that his God was a woman,
I say the black woman is God, and
Black woman is God.
I say the black woman is God.
The black woman is God because, you know, she was the first organism on this planet.
Well, exactly. That's the only thing outside of God that I know that creates. First and foremost. The issues that we have are that the woman knows before we know whether or not life should be brought into the earth, brought here, or if it should be aborted. They deserve to have that right for the simple.
How does a woman know that this baby got to go? Like, tell me, what is like the internal, like, what's the vagina math on how, like, this baby got to go? How does that work? What do you mean only the woman knows when this baby got to go? What, there's not enough room in there? Did you rent this space to another baby? What do you mean? These bunch of smooth brain niggas.
Fact of America does not allow us to run a system the way we should as a family. Men don't understand. You may be the leader, but you might not be the provider. Do you know how to lead if you are not the provider? In the midst of trying to figure it out, we coming from a whole bunch of systematic. It's been constructed for us to be the way that we are, to think that we are. That's not how it was.
Oh, so you're just going to drop in a whole lot of oppression, mumbo jumbo, babble words on me. So basically, because the white man is mean to you, she gets to like skeet your kid. I mean, she gets to have her vacuum, her vagina vacuum. Let's call it that. She gets a vagina vacuum because the white man is mean to you. Is that what that is? And mind you, by your logic, the white man wants your black babies more than your black woman does. She has to decide whether or not to even keep it around. Meanwhile, the white man's like, no, you should have that baby and get it the hell away from me.
When I mentioned where they took they paid to take black fathers out of the house. And then from there, me and Cliff was talking about that. When it started with the Section 8, women were able to take care of the kids without the man being in the house, which gave her the mindset that I can be the leader because I have to be the provider. And then after that, it was the crack epidemic, which guys started using or they was going to prison. Regardless, we stayed out of the house. Now it's social media. And the thing is, we were always here to protect the black women. And if you ever seen the movie Sparta, men were actually the leaders, but the leader knew how to lead because he still trusted the woman with the gift that God gave her, which was intuition and discernment. And if you knew how to treat your woman, and
are you really going to talk about the Spartans? I mean, of all the Greeks, the Spartans were the gayest of all the Greeks. You understand? You understand how gay you have to be? You're the gayest of all Greeks. They literally named butt sex after Greeks, okay? And this nigga wants to talk about the Spartans. I'm trying to tell you, there's something wrong with these new niggas. This new breed of genetically safe house-bred niggas, there's just something just really, really deep about it. And I can't put my finger on it, but there's something really wrong with these niggas, man. I'm trying to tell you.
And well, guys, if I could still show you around, here is the biggest, gayest man in the world.
Wow. So gay. So gay. Okay.
she knew how to love and that stress was off her. It allowed y'all to operate as a family unit, to be able to trust her so she can be able to trust you. Once you realize how powerful that woman is, a lot of us run around, and even for myself, I struggle with being monogamous because I didn't understand the value of a woman. But once you put a woman next to God, would you play with God the same way? And if you knew what you possessed as powerful.
What did I just hear?
And even for myself, I struggle with being monogamous because I didn't understand the value of a woman.
Boys and girls, do you remember me telling you about player's remorse, player's guilt, that whole deal? You guys remember me telling you about that whole concept? He's a hymn, right? This is one of the hymns telling everybody at the table he used to struggle with monogamy because he didn't understand the value of the woman, right? That's what he just said out his mouth.
But once you put a woman next to God, would you play with God the same way?
And so in order for him to stop being a him, he had to stop smashing these hoes. In order for him to be monogamous, he had to see his woman as a god. So think about this in a religious framework, right? In order to repent for all of his sins, he now has to prostrate himself and beg forgiveness from God. And who did he just make a god?
A lot of people seem to not understand me.
Science proves that the black woman is God. We're not just saying that.
And the black and Latino woman, they manifested themselves out of dark matter energy. All right.
I believe the black woman is God.
Black woman, God. I don't believe God, no man. I believe God, a black woman.
The black woman is God.
But my number one subject matter is the black woman is God. That's first and foremost.
Black woman is God.
The black woman is still God.
You're God, black woman.
The black woman is God. She is the creator. She is the sustainer. She is the provider. She is the first teacher of the children. She is everything to the black race.
But don't get it wrong. I am still a white man's whore.
Shout out to the Coon of Coons with the $10 donation for the entertainment. Been slaving since the missus is now a full-time stay-at-home mom. Look at these coons out here retiring their women. It's amazing. It's amazing things that coons can do. Look at him. He retired his wife, y'all. Ain't that amazing? Shout out to Mrs. SKC. Now she can just make babies and I don't know. What do women do when they're not making babies? Whatever girls do when we're not looking, she can do that now. Shout out to the missus now. Free to do all the things girls do when guys aren't really paying attention. And the Angry Snowman with the 5-ball. GMO ninjas guaranteed to have all the masculinity bred out. This is exactly what we're dealing with. These niggas have zero masculinity unless they have to like go battle the theoretical white man. Their entire focus is like white male centered. They think about white men more than gay men do.
If you knew what you possessed as powerful, I don't think that we would run around with the promiscuous mindset of thinking it's okay because we wouldn't look at a lot of us run around. And even for myself, I struggle with being monogamous because I didn't understand the value of a woman. But once you put a woman next to God, would you play with God the same way? And if you knew what you possessed as powerful, I don't think that we would run around with the promiscuous mindset of thinking it's okay because we wouldn't look at women the way that we are downplayed the thing of how they are.
So I'm gonna interject real quick though. I think that there's something I think that's really dope that you started with is around women being first close to God, right? Like that's a fact. And talking about creation.
If women are close to God, what are men? And notice this is literally an inversion of the Western Christian concept of of deity. They're literally inverting the idea of, God, man, woman, child, right? Now it's like woman, God, man, children, or woman, God, children, men. Some other shit, but it's not normal. It's not normal. And we're almost an hour in, and I've been queuing this up for a minute, so now it's about time to pull the trigger on this. Guys, if you are watching, finally, once again, if you are watching from the Manhood Conservative channel, the chat is pretty much closed, and I've been spamming links in the chat. I need you to click one of those links and get over to the new channel. I'm shutting this stream down. We're gonna stay live on the Hood Conservative live channel because that's what the live channel is for, damn it. I got plans. I'm spreading out. We're expanding the brand. Now that I got my shit back, we're doing it big, y'all, but we got to move over to the next channel. So I'm going to shut this one down, and I appreciate you guys watching. Even if you don't hit the link, it should funnel you automatically, but meet us over on the next channel, guys.
You know, talking about creating, talking about, because I do think people talk about the human race all the time, and it started with blah, 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 blah. It started in Africa, you know, it started in Africa. With a black woman, right? And so I do think the closest you could get to power, the closest you could get to life, creating circumstances, and is with the black woman.
Yes.
But also just want to ground us in, you know, when we talk about reproductive justice, it's not just about birthing, right? It's not just about having a kid, right? And it's about, when we talk about bodily autonomy, it's about, we all want the right to control our bodies. I don't want nobody telling me what to do with my body, right? And that is a right that expands even beyond having a kid, right? And fostering that environment to be able to raise folks. And we talked about like the village, right? You know, and that it takes a village to raise a kid. It wasn't like, okay, all these people on the block got a responsibility. It was actually, you understood that kid that every decision that goes into raising that kid, teaching that kid how to move, teaching that kid how to communicate, affects, it forms their future. But
and notice, you're absolutely right, Ms. Cantrell. It's not her body. The baby has its own body. It's a body in a body. It's like a box inside of a box. You know, like those little Russian dolls. You open it up and there's another doll, and you open that one up and there's another doll. Each doll is an individual doll. It's not her body. The baby has a body.
It also affects everybody in the village, right? And so everybody had a responsibility to make sure that that person and the people that were raising that kid had what they needed, had the healthiest environment and things, you know, to make sure that everyone is okay, that we all can live the life that we deserve, right? And so, you know, I do want to also make sure that, you know, I ain't got no kids, you know, just so I can't talk about, you know, the standpoint of a father, but there are fathers at this table. I also got 25 nephews and nieces. I'm over here, you know what I'm saying? I got strategy over here. But there's perspectives from all on this table from every angle of it. And I do want to go back to, and you know, we can go wherever you wanted to go, whatever you wanted to say, but I do want to talk about that, you know, like you said, the government shouldn't be involved. Keeping in mind that this is a government that was steeped in what they call white supremacy. I like to call white delusion, right? You know what I'm saying?
And notice we justify every moral failing by blaming white supremacy. This is the real pathology here. We justify every moral perversion by saying the white man is bad.
Anything, right? And they
don't want to believe that they came from a black woman.
Yeah, and the definition.
Becky, you came from a black woman.
Well, the definition of, you know, masculinity, the definition of what we do with our bodies and how we define a government's role in that came from that corrupt standpoint, that corrupt perspective. So I 100% agree that the government should do anything about it. But where did you want to go with that?
Well, I think one of the things that I think helps, I believe, with women's right in terms of their sexual reproduction is the relationship that we have with the black man. I heard a psychiatrist when I was on one of the panels say that African American.
Now, notice that 15 minutes into this conversation, they're still on women's, quote, reproductive rights, right? Why? What do the men get out of this? Why are we spending so much time? I've never heard men talk so long about terminating pregnancies, right? Men don't ever talk about this type of thing. Only women want this kind of shit. But somehow you niggas are compelled to talk about it. You realize how disgusting you look as a man talking about terminating a pregnancy? Like, literally, let them take that one on. Let women take the whole L for that.
Men and women are suffering from 450 years of post-slavery PTSD.
Yes.
So one of the things that I love about this thing right here is that the next one I want to see is black men and black women sitting down together and talking about how do we learn to exist in peace. And I say that because I'm saying this, and a lot of times I have to catch myself. It's emotional. I grew up with a lot of violence around. My father, when he drank, I seen him knock women. My father fight a baby. He was just off. He was mentally off from.
Like I said, his daddy would fight a baby. And your mom kept making babies with that man, huh? That is incredible family stories right there, man. He said his daddy would fight a baby. And so his mom kept giving him babies, apparently.
How do it equivalent?
The oppression of this culture that broke him, and so we were born, a lot of us were born into that, our fathers, and we're trying to break those cycles. So somehow that ties into women's reproductive choices in terms of having a baby with a guy that's comes from a broken family. Now the baby coming in with a broken family, and bam, 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 and the mother's asking the father for support, and like, yo, I ain't actually had that motherfucking baby. That ain't shit. I don't even know if that's not motherfucker. I mean, there's so many levels to this that make women coward or not want to talk, or be the victim of one guy shot his baby mama and the kids the other day. It's so I think we got to attack that from not just right now in this racist culture that we're seeing with this administration, but also from a generational standpoint. For sure.
I don't have the historical information, man. That's why I'm a listener, man. I'm a great listener. But when I hear, from your generation, your perspective, and your perspective, and everybody's perspective in the sense that as we get into it, I feel like we let women down in that regard. We didn't stand on business. And
what you mean by that?
I just feel like we let depression wear us down. Fathers let depression wear them down, beat them down, take them out of the house, and
they forced them out of the house.
Forced them.
No, they had a program. They forced them out. They didn't leave the house.
I feel that. I understand that. I can't. But ain't nobody gonna make me leave my woman. I get that. I get it. But ain't nobody gonna make me leave my family.
No, bro. Your woman gonna make you leave your woman. The government is way in the background. The government is way like you can barely even notice the government in the equation. But the reality is your woman will make you leave your woman. How you gonna fight your woman to keep your woman? Do you realize what type of mental conundrum that is for a man? Are you gonna fight your woman to keep your woman? Are you prepared to do that? How hard are you gonna battle this woman to keep her? You got to think about it. It might happen to you one day.
I hit a woman for the first time in my life, and I'm having fun.
I understand that. I could never fathom what went on back then.
I think you might be alluding to weak ass men allowing things that might be coming up. Like, oh, this seems like, I don't know exactly this.
Now, look, I got to tell you, because I did preview a little bit of this conversation last night before I went to bed. And I knew immediately when I heard that guy's voice, I was like, I hate your voice, bro. I hate your voice. Before he even said the words, like, I knew I hated this nigga. The moment he opened his goddamn mouth, I knew I fucking hated this nigga.
That nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay.
Historical presence of it either. But you know how you say, like, oh, like, you stripping us from the house. Oftentimes, I'm a man who dates men. A lot of men are strong. So the way that you say,
This nigga say, I'm a man who dates men. A lot of men are strong. Oh my God. Why, Lord, why? Why? Why do you do this to me? Oh my God, what this nigga doing here, bro?
We are absolutely winning right now. Absolutely.
We have done more than change the conversation. We changed the balance of power in the federal government.
He didn't say he's a gay man. He says he's a man who dates men. Does that make him less gay? Is his homosexuality like professional or some shit like that? What does that even mean when I'm a man who dates men? Niggas said it like it was a whole new classification of homosexual. Like, nigga, you's a regular old homosexual.
This seems like, I don't know exactly the historical presence of it either, but you know how you say like, oh, like, you know, you stripping us from the house. Oftentimes, I'm a man who dates men. A lot of men are strong. So the way that you said you're not gonna take nobody from my family, you're not gonna strip me from my family. A lot of people don't walk with that. A lot of people don't have that. So I mean, like it is systematic, but I mean at the same time,
I mean, if
you somebody, I mean, you part of like the few men who's not gonna live their life like that.
I mean, I get a system that
So
you live in a place that is just geared to tell you you ain't shit, you ain't shit, you ain't shit,
And it beats you down.
you ain't shit, you ain't shit,
Yeah.
and it beats your other counterpart down.
Aw, these niggas feel depressed. Oh, look at him with his frizzy afro and his scruffy beard. Him depressed. Him so depressed. Aw. Look, Snowman said he just admitted he the bottom. That nigga depressed, y'all. He need a therapy. Him need a therapy session. That nigga need a hug and shit.
Y'all come home to
madness.
beatness. Yeah. Nobody want to heal anybody, right?
It's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of different influences that happen, whether it's drugs, right? We know that our community struggled with that for a long time.
But let's talk about them. Let's go back. No. Let's go back and talk about the CIA putting drugs in the
That's what I'm saying. We're in a country where drugs is probably the most highest profit of things that you want, right? But just speaking on fatherhood and being in the house and not being in the household, I think yes, a lot of pressures coming from each side, right?
Yeah.
I've looked at fathers who
From now on, this guy with the white t-shirt will be referred to as the N. For obvious reasons, all right? The N is speaking right now.
in the household and I had conversations with him and say, man, you've been on drugs since you was 12 years old, brother. Your brain doesn't have the capability of thinking correctly, right? You are afraid that you can't provide for your family, so you would rather leave, right? Not knowing that you have a woman who's willing to stay down with you and hold you down no matter what, right? So just as a man who, even to this day, get nervous, right? Like, oh man, this shit is slowing up. Like, am I better off telling my baby and them, like, are y'all good? No, of course not, right? But you have to be honest about yourself and say, I'm fearful of certain things, and say, and not necessarily a weakness, but necessarily it's like, I'm scared, right? That I can't provide. And now
you got to tell your woman that you scared and you can't provide. Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel so ew. I feel icky even hearing you say that shit. Oh man. You can't think of nothing. You ain't gotta move. How we gonna get around on your bus pass, bro? You can't think of nothing.
No, of course not, right? But you have to be honest about yourself and say, I'm fearful of certain things, and say, and not necessarily a weakness, but necessarily it's like, I'm scared, right? That I can't provide. And now I'll either let someone else kind of tell me what I need to do, right? Rather than following my own intuition and having a relationship with my ancestors in the universe and that can really guide you, or having that one-on-one with your lady. So many things that can pull people out of the house, similar to the conversation.
The N is scared, y'all. Huh. I wonder what those little packs on the table are. I wonder what those things are. What are those, like moist towelettes? What I wonder what that is on the table. What kind of like beverages and snacks do you give all of these like GMO niggas?
It's like, well, if I was enslaved, I wouldn't have done that. It's like, well, you really don't know. So it's like, there's so many different things that go into why people do things. And sometimes, you can name it to. It's like, oh, this person was being a coward, or this person was being, but a lot of it is fear. And a lot of it is because we're the minority. And because the pressure that comes from so many other people that don't look like us, it's a lot of pressure that makes you feel that way. And then you got the people that's in your community that oppress you, right? And so as men, we do it to women, right? As men, that's the tier. We do it to women even more, right? We fall underneath that same thing. And so to your point, we got to strip that away, figure out what the issue is with that, have those conversations, understand that it's layers and layers of what it is, but also don't be like, you weak as hell.
Make sure that word like that now.
Oh, shout out to Miss Cantrell throwing out memberships, y'all. We got 10 new members in the church. Everybody say thank you to the First Lady giving out memberships. Thank you, Miss Cantrell. Appreciate your love.
Get it again. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. I come in the name of Jesus. Repeat it after me, bitch. I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit.
No, you wouldn't be able to do it. You ain't been able to hold it down. But it's just like, man, it's so many, reasons why a man would leave a household, and then sometimes it's us not holding them accountable and saying, hey, look, man, you need to get your shit together. All right, you need to make sure you're over there. Because now I'm sitting here playing spades with you and smoking again. Ain't saying your kid 3 blocks down the street in weeks. Right. So no accountability. So to your point, as you was talking to your driver, let's take accountability, but then also kind of give each other a little bit of grace and understanding, especially our OGs who went through a lot, especially our guys who are coming from Vietnam, right? Who came home to nothing and lost everything and went out there and lost their mind, saw things we can never imagine, right?
Did everything for this place.
Did everything for this country just for them to take it away from you. And so now I say, well, fuck everybody.
That's my entry point to this conversation. I think that because I went to college and I got a master's degree in human relations, I really sat with and grappled with power and domination.
A master's degree in human relations. Look at this nigga. Hold on. Let me get this big screen as much as possible here. Look, I gotta let this wash over me a little bit. Hold on. This nigga he's a master of human relations. What does that even mean? You master human relations? Is that master human debations? Are you a master debater too? What does that even mean? He's a master of human relations. Like, if I was gonna be extremely literal about it, you sound like you watch people fuck. Nigga said, I'm a master of human relations. Yeah, you in the bushes watching people fuck, taking notes and shit, jotting things down. Said I'm a master of human relations. What does that even entail of? Like, can you build a house with that shit? Can you run a business with this information? Like, what are you good for? Like, after you have mastered human relations, how would you then go apply that knowledge into the productive world of men? Can you build a better mousetrap, nigga? Like, what is a master of human relations? And you see, this is the thing I mean with, like, as much as college used to be genuinely respected as a point of someone took a lot of effort to gain a particular set of knowledge or skills so that they can then apply these skills out there in the world, likely for all of our benefit. But that was back when people went to college and learned how to give speeches in Latin and do advanced mathematics, right? Now they learn about designer butt plugs and how to master human relations. That's what they learn in college now. Consciously probably minored in butt plugs, but he has a master's in human relations.
When it comes to like gender discrimination and when it comes to discrimination against women. So for me in this conversation, thinking about like fatherhood, I can't help but to think about the way in which I was introduced into this conversation about women's progression and how there were critiques of Black women that talked about how us as men start thinking about this shit until we start having kids. So we start to think about how we only think about women when it's tethered to a man. Like, hey, respect her, bro. That's so-and-so, little sister. Hey, respect her, bro. That's so-and-so. So it's really thinking about how us as men, in terms of accountability, we really don't even have a good transition from objectification to fatherhood because you've been a fucker for 20 years.
These are men who don't understand men. And then here's the problem with that. At any turn, would you try to assert masculinity in its purest form, like the essence of masculinity? These dudes really recoil from the essence of masculinity because it reminds them of white men. Anything that's too virile, anything that's too potent, anything that's too domineering, anything that's too effective, it reminds them of white men.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
And now you don't want to be a fucker no more. Now you want to be a father. Because we don't have that accountability to think about how we are taught to objectify women. And I know in our conversations, it'd be like, hey, you can get respect from the homies based off how you get down a bitch.
Yeah.
To be real, you can get capital, popularity, preference based off of how you're able to dominate and objectify other women. So then when I come into the conversation, I want to talk about progression of women.
Again, he doesn't understand men. You're not popular because you get bitches. You get bitches because you're popular.
We start to have different, I'm gonna say pathology, different ways that stigma taps into it. And I think one of those is us being very critical about how we relate to women that's not related to us. Like, how do you respect women that's not your sister, that's not your mama, that's not your, you know what I'm saying, you feel me? Oh, even when we find them attractive. Like, how do you respect for those women? I think that the conversation starts before we start thinking about fatherhood. It starts for me, start thinking about it in middle school, you know what I'm saying? But also in this conversation that was like, hey, so before you became a father, before you became a father, when did you think about the general welfare of women?
Well, I'm adopted, so.
This nigga adopted. Nigga automatically got identity issues. Oh my God. First of all, the nigga asked you such a crazy question. When did you ever think about the general welfare of women? And his first response is, well, I'm adopted. What the fuck, nigga? First of all, it's a retarded question. And second of all, that was a retarded thing to come out with immediately. That nigga, he met retardation with retardation. Oh, wow. That was such a beautiful, like, synergetic moment.
Hey, so before you became a father, before you became a father, when did you think about the general welfare of women?
Well, I'm adopted.
Said, well, I'm adopted. Nigga, what the hell? What the hell am I even looking at? God. Oh my God. These new niggas, man. This is what happens when you, is this a college thing? I don't know where these niggas come from. Because part of me wants to blame college, but I don't know if it's just that.
I'm telling you, man, this the reason why I be hating niggas, man. I'm telling you, man. It just be us. I be hating niggas, man.
So I think some of that has always been in my mind, just what would make someone give their child up. You know, since I've always known since I was 7. Feel me? So what environment was she in? Did she feel protected? Did she feel wanted, cared for, seen? All the things. So early on, for me, I think it's kind of gone to a place of just humanity of it all, just like a person. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. Right. I want to feel how I feel. That's me. I want the same for everybody. Yes. I want you to live your life. I don't want nobody to take their life. But for the most part, if it makes you happy, go do your thing. That's me. Right. That's who I am. I understand that a lot of people are not like that. A lot of people also don't have my experience. Yeah. That has probably made me this way. For sure. My upbringing, you dig? Single parent household, only my mama, watching my mama deal with men, a safety engineer at NASA, you know, surrounded by white men, telling her she don't know what she's doing.
You were adopted, but now I'm confused. So you were adopted by your single mom who worked at NASA? Interesting.
She telling them, you got to put the gloves on? You know what I mean? It's my perspective is from that's my earliest.
That's right. I want to because how in this moment, because
and notice, right? The nigga asked him a question about women. When do you ever think about the general welfare of women? And he said, first of all, I'm adopted. And then he told a story about his mama fighting racism at NASA. I'm so confused, bro. I'm so confused. I really am.
Make it stop. Make the hurt stop, please. Like,
shout out to True Hype with the $10. This the same gay dude that was wrong with the brick lady. Instead of apologizing. He basically said this happened, so he cool with her bringing awareness. F that dude, no real principles. None of these dudes actually have morals, or at least not morals that they don't know. None of these dudes have morals that they've thought out clearly. They don't have an actual moral core. There's no real censor to their beliefs. They just do what, you know, whatever's hip right now. They believe whatever the trending thing is at the moment.
We have, when we're talking about the government, we have abortion bans in Georgia, my home state, Texas. That's leading to women dying, you know, babies dying, people being less safe. And here we have folks, we've been hearing about folks being hung, lynched. We've been hearing about so many things this year that scare me as to how I got a big ass family, how all them people are gonna survive this time. And I'm thinking about, and I'm not thinking about protect Black women like we've always heard it, like protect Black women. Oh, that's my girlfriend. That's my, you know, don't hurt my mama. You know, don't talk about my mama. You know what I mean? But you know, when we were talking earlier about a village, right, and how a village, everybody has a responsibility for each person, and each responsibility in nourishing, creating that nourishing environment, making sure there's healthy food, you know, clean water.
You know, when I hear these niggas talk about villages raising children, I just feel like y'all some lazy niggas. You need a whole village to help you with your goddamn kid. The whole village, like they ain't got their own kids to raise. That village talk is just a lazy nigga cop out. What if the whole village full of lazy niggas like you?
Water, et cetera, et cetera. What are we doing right now to learn what women need, Black women particularly, and play our part in that power building?
I have a question for you guys, because this is something I've been trying to explore, and then I got more on the journey of once I got married, which is like therapy, right? And self-discovery, right? Understanding that my wife had her own journey of therapy, being introduced to anger management, right? It's not because you punching holes in the wall, but it's because you just get certain triggers that you don't know how to handle, and you don't know how to. So I think for me, I'm going on a journey, and I'm curious if you all
the end is taking therapy. He's a therapeutic nigga. He's an emotionally aware nigga. He's an evolved nigga.
Or even to go on it, because I am learning how to be more enthusiastic about it, because therapy saying like, I don't like talking to somebody, I don't want to, you know, so just having that kind of, for me, that's where I'm at, and figuring out that's how I'm gonna make my wife feel safe. Yes. She wants to know that in any conversation, I ain't gonna just be like, I gotta go outside and smoke real quick, but I ain't, you know, she wants to feel safe. And the more we can make them feel safe, and because you naturally we all want to provide. Most men, you want to be the provider, you want to go out there and do the thing, but you forget about it ain't just monetarily, it ain't just hanging out with your son and your daughter. It's like, how do I have these conversations and actually know how to have them? Because sometimes you don't understand that. You don't get taught how to, you know, deal with impulse control and all those type of things. I would be curious to know if you all had your own therapy journey and trying to figure out how to, you know, obviously keep your spouse safe or anybody in your life to safe. I know it's particularly talking about the women in our lives. So.
He literally said just what I was about to talk. I don't care what said. If you think you are okay, go to therapy. If you don't, I've been in therapy like 4 to 5 years, and it's bigger than, like Luke was saying. I'm going to
niggas been in therapy for years and they never been fixed, bro. How you going to therapy for years? Is there never a cure? Are you just permanently broken? Nigga been on a 5-year therapy journey, bro. Where the fuck are you going? How you on a 5-year therapy journey? The nigga unfixable. After 3 years, I'd have been like, bro, I can't fix what's wrong with you.
Your spouse safe or anybody in your life to safe. I know it's particularly talking about the women in our lives. So.
He literally said just what I was about to talk. I don't care what said. If you think you are okay, go to therapy. If you don't, I've been in therapy like 4 to 5 years, and it's bigger than, like Luke was saying. I'm going to stay in my house, but just because you stay in your house don't mean you're going to have a healthy environment, because you could stay for 20, 30 years for them kids, but if they saw anger and this, that, and the third, you can't be mad that they go out and do the same thing with what they saw. It is encouraged that if you take it self, you need to take it self. You need to have couples there. We as men, even wanting to be better, we only have the information that we've been given amongst each other, but we don't have different perspectives. It's okay to take perspectives from white people because they don't have the mindset of survival that we have. So when you hear different, you think different, you move different. It's more, you're more optimistic to know how to move within your household. It is my children. I don't care that they're only 9, 10, 7, 6. They have problems, and every Black man at this table had problems. We had situations we couldn't talk to people about. Get your children in therapy. If you can't afford to do it, healthcare can cover it. Get your children to therapy because they need to have that healthy outlet to have somebody. They don't always feel safe talking to mom and daddy, regardless of how well we are. They don't feel safe doing it.
Do not take your children to your government therapist. Yes, we geeks, I totally agree. Therapy equals the rapey. Don't fall for their tricks. Don't take your children to the rapey.
I would say be careful about getting your therapy for white people, but
I didn't say get it. Don't get. I didn't say white therapists.
No, I know.
Listening to in general when they talk about.
Watch when you're listening to them too. But what I do want to also say is that I think is really important is that our safety doesn't our responsibility in Black women.
You know, it's crazy to talk about. They're constantly talking about white people, right? Who the hell invented therapy? Did your ancient African ancestor invent therapy, or did white people invent it? All this shit you mad about from white folk, but you want to copy their style though. Don't be getting that white man therapy. Nigga, it's all white man therapy.
Safety isn't on us to protect our partner generally. It's not just us that's going to have that responsibility.
For sure.
We have to realize that, honestly, statistically, the safety from a partner in America is that you're actually less safe from your partner generally. So the safety has to come from how you build an accountability outside of that relationship, outside of that family. What is that village you building, right? And so I'm interested. I'm
listening, so like I'm just gathering information. I have a lot.
Well, I'm saying both of y'all.
Jump in there.
How are y'all thinking beyond like I'm gonna protect my partner? Because I think that there's a value in that. I think there's a value in I'm gonna protect my partner. Ain't nothing gonna happen to my partner. At the end of the day, though, when you have such big systems that are targeting you and doing their best to pull y'all apart, doing their best to divide y'all and pit y'all against each other, you can't depend on, and that's something that we're taught. Masculinity is how powerful we can be and how we can protect what we own and what we, you know what I'm saying? That is not what protection is. That's not what safety is. So I'm thinking about, outside of that, how do y'all think about safety outside of just I'm the protector? You know what I'm saying? How do we build that?
The thing that pops into my head right now as we're having this conversation is this, like the system is capitalism, and what that looks like is we're talking about therapy, which is I think is very important. But we don't think about the aspect of therapy, which I mentioned in our conversation earlier.
What is this nigga? Like phenotypically, ethnically speaking, what is he? I feel like there's an imposter among us, y'all. Is there an imposter among us? What the hell is he? I mean, I thought this was a Black man conversation. And don't get me wrong, I have seen many a light-skinned Negro in my day. I have seen quite a few light-skinned Negroes in my day. And I got to tell you, that is not a light-skinned Negro. That is an Arab. He might be a Dominican. That nigga look like he comes from the United Arab Emirates, man. Nigga look like he related to French Montana. These fucking Arabs doing here. Look at this nigga hair. Look at his hair. What is he doing at the black table? Me no black ass nigga. Come on, man. What are you doing?
How capitalism and this individualistic view of our responsibility as well.
This is a DEI panel. They DEI'd black men, y'all. They finally managed to do it. I didn't know how it could possibly be done, but they finally found a way to DEI black men.
Is tied to breaking up of our communities. You talked about a village. So when we're thinking about our families, like you as a father, I'm not a dad. I don't have any children. I don't plan on it. When people think, okay, I have a family and I'm raising my children, it's like mom, dad, kids, and we forget like that is a lot of pressure, and it's not supposed to be that way.
Right.
I think it's supposed to be a community of people that are helping each other, and we have not created that community. It's just like, I'm over here with my family here, I'm over there with my family there, and there's no communication. And I think that's ultimately something that's really important, is us being able to come together and create from there, create the community where everyone has a responsibility to themselves and each other.
Our natural ways have been dismantled.
Real quick, I mean, do you have examples of?
And shout out to my man Dick Thug with the 5 ball. He says the problem is assuming that Black women want to be in a safe position. Hey, maybe they like danger. Maybe they like chaos. I don't know.
Good women are dead. Evil bitches, rise up!
What that looks like in your life?
Give me a more specific question. Sorry.
If it's not, you think about it, but just like what that protection, what that looks like. You talked about colonial effect on therapy. Now, I know that to me, I'm like, hell yeah, talk about the colonial therapy. But I also don't. I know that a lot of people don't know what the hell that means, right?
I'm saying, like, when you think about therapy and when you're going,
and I'm not asking you necessarily about that. I'm asking you generally what that protection and that outside help and so it looks like in your life.
I bet you all of these men at the table are most of these men are college graduates with like soft degrees, meaning like that human relationship, you know, or whatever the male equivalent to underwater basket weaving is. All these niggas learned soft shit in college. They went to college. They didn't learn how to calculate things. They didn't learn how to equivalate anything. They didn't learn how to build anything. They studied the theories of racism. They learned the history of lynchings and shit like that.
Growing up, I'll use my life as an example. Obviously, I grew up with both my parents, my mom and my dad. From the outside, it would look very traditional, but my mom was the one that was really holding everything down. My dad was very supportive with me when it came to providing monetarily. He also was the one that had a more formal education, so he was able to help me when I needed help with schoolwork. But when it came to my care, it was my mom that was there. And then I noticed the way that he behaved, or like his behavior around women, and how he was with my mom, how he was with his sisters and his mother, and how he was with me. So I'm, as a trans person, and as being his daughter and his little girl at the time,
that's a trans person. What the hell? Oh no. No. We done crossed so many boundaries here.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
This is a trans this is a trans nigga. I told you this is the most DEI group of niggas I ever heard of. Oh my God. They DEI, they finally figured out a way to DEI Black men. Oh my God, I can't believe they finally did it. These sons of bitches did it. They have diversified the Black male. They have finally diversified the Black man, y'all. They got a whole trans nigga. I couldn't even. I'm thinking like, all right, maybe he's just an Arab. Maybe he's just a little Dominican, you know. Oh no, no. I was not ready for the truth. This is like some crying game shit right now. I was so not ready for the truth. Oh God, no. I was not ready. That mean that beard is probably a prosthetic. That's a strap-on beard. Oh my God, this is a whole trans nigga. And the conversation about Black men trusting Black women, they have a gay man and a trans nigga. Lord. Got a strap-on beard. Amazing.
Treated me with such care, and it was the complete antithesis in the way that way that he behaved, or like his behavior around women, and how he was with my mom, how he was with his sisters and his mother, and how he was with me. So I'm, as a trans person, and as being his daughter and his little girl at the time, he treated me with such care, and it was the complete antithesis in the way that he treated my mother and the way that he treated his sister. So it was interesting to see him treat my mom like shit, and then be like, no, my sister's like, I'll kill somebody if someone mess with my sister. I'll kill somebody if someone mess with my mother. I'm like, why don't you bring that same energy to my mother? So
branch off of that. Oh wait.
I mean, and so when in my transition, and when I started thinking about how I wanted to show up as a man in this world, it was like I wanted to borrow that softness that he embodied when he was interacting with other women in his family, but not the way that he treated my mother.
So you started out as a little girl, and now you want to transition into a man, something like your dad. That's it's just wonderful. It's pretty wonderful.
What that partner violence looked like, and why. So that I started to question what was his view of my mother, because clearly he didn't see her as family. Not really. He saw her as an incubator that gave birth to his child that he now loves and cares for, and then he has his sisters and his mother that he also cares for and wants to protect. But all the women that he would,
hey, SKC, coon of coons. You know, one day you and I got to really talk about this, y'all. You and I got to talk about this at length, because I remember years ago, you in particular, and some others, I was definitely a part of that, you know, that whole wave. I'm always on the bad side of the Black community. But I remember you in particular, SKC, you were taking flack for a particular statement. And I quote, "Let it burn." You remember the good old days, SKC, when you were telling everybody, nah, you can't fix it, let it burn? Remember the good old days? And that, look at it, because they didn't let it burn, because they tried to keep it alive, look at what we've become now. They have diversified the Negro. We are the final victims of diversity, y'all. And I would have rather let it burn down than fall to diversity. I would rather watch my community burn than let it fall to diversity. Look at this shit. SKC was right. It should have burned a long time ago. We could have been rebuilding something better by now.
Or just that. There were things that I got to get pleasure, and they can make me a meal, and that was that.
Personally, you know, I grew up with all women. Like, single parent home, had no grandparents except my grandmother, no grandfather. Both had passed away before I was born. Father wasn't around, and taking care of everybody. So I've always conceded power to women. That's been my nature. I guess my nature and my nurture is because that's all that was there. So a lot.
You got bullied by every woman in your life, and now you wear it as a badge of honor. I'm telling you, a lot of these men cannot even conceive of how raped they really are. And I hate to even say that word on YouTube, because YouTube gets all sensitive about it. But you know, you guys put a lot of money in a till today, so I might say a lot of no words. But these niggas are thoroughly raped. I have never seen a group of men more raped than these men. That's why they talk about therapy. Collectively, these men are the rape.
For my journey, I was in autobiographies trying to figure out where's a man and who can teach me how to do it. What does it look like? I'm looking to Sam Davis Jr. and Sidney Poitier, and you know, anybody's got autobiography about whatever, Bill Cosby, only to get that dream shattered. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think a lot of men who've grown up in those environments are trying to figure out how to hold themselves accountable while also holding themselves hostage. Right? I was trying to take up for my father not being there. I was trying to take up for my grandfather's not being there, overcompensating and not necessarily knowing exactly what my place and my position was. So I think a lot of, I can't speak for everybody, but I think a lot of Black men just don't know, when they say be a man, what does that mean? Yeah. And not even what does that mean? That doesn't mean the same thing for this woman. That doesn't mean the same thing for this woman. You know, what is her, that, you know, so I think a lot of it is double dutching. It's like, how do I give myself enough grace while also pushing myself and challenging myself to learn and listen and hear? And like I said, like, even there's not a single same
Perspective.
Perspective.
It's all different.
It's all different. We're all figuring it out. You know, I think that's, like I say, it's like how much grace can we give ourselves? How can we hold ourselves accountable without the guilt and the shame kicking in? Because once
I haven't heard these niggas disagree about anything yet. What do you mean different perspectives? All of you niggas are equally raped. I haven't heard anybody disagree. You have all been raped to the same mental degree now. That all you niggas are just alike.
guilt and shame will do a whole lot. Guilt and shame will freeze you up. Guilt and shame will keep you from actually sitting in a space that actually is safe. You don't know that it's safe because you're so used to, putting on. You know, it's just, I think it's that, it's having space to even do this. This is village.
And
right?
accountability, like you said, giving yourself that grace, and then understanding when it's like, all right, tighten up. All right, it's sometimes, and then educating yourself. A lot of us, we don't remember to read, right? Y'all remember them posters that they used to say read? And you got your celebrity on there, and they hold, you don't even see them posters, right? You don't even see things to really push each other, right? Educate. So the more we can kind of educate ourselves, and like you said, to your point, to the village, right? Understanding that it's there, it's obtainable, right? I just shot a movie in Nickerson Gardens, and I'm like, yo, all these kids in the project still got villages that we are taking away. You try to get away from the, oh, it's tough times in the black neighborhood. It's like, man, these kids still out here playing. They still out here having a good time, right? And understanding like why or what that is.
Children everywhere play. Children will play in trash because that's where they live. That doesn't mean anything. You think it's okay there? You think it's nice there? Because, oh, the children play. Yes. And later on that night, there were 4 murders. Like, but the children play. And a woman was dragged down an alley and assaulted that morning. But the children play. The cops just snatched the predator out of the 3rd floor apartment, and the children still play. This nigga is retarded.
For certain communities and why it's necessary for them. They don't got nobody else. So they got to send their kids outside and say, hey, can you watch my kid today for a second? I got to go to work, whatever. So sometimes you get above yourself and think, I don't need nobody. I done made enough money. I can pay for this nanny over here. Rather than being like, oh, no, Luke, you want your kid to come hang out with my kid today? And then we go do this, all right, cool, we hang out. Remembering that it's all there and it's obtainable, but sometimes we push it away ourselves too, you know?
Something that I really do think about when we think about power, right? Because I think we misunderstand power. We've been taught all types of false definitions and notions of power. And a lot of the time, the way that we understand power is really abuse, right? It's like we bully each other. We abuse our power over each other and say things that we're not supposed to. We bully or abuse our power over women. We abuse our power over kids. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the time, that's what we see. And I want to know.
This is basically a struggle session. The conversation starts out with and never leaves from one fundamental issue, which is, as Black men, you are thoroughly flawed. You are fundamentally flawed. As Black men, you are inherently broken. I told you, this is a circle of raped men.
Just a simple question. When we're thinking about, I think with the opposite of abuse, when we think about love, and love can be powerful, love can be extremely powerful. What does it mean to love Black women? And I want y'all to think about, because you was talking about what did you say? Accountability. Holding ourselves accountable while holding ourselves hostage.
Trying to hold ourselves accountable without holding ourselves.
Talking about parents and all type. So I'm just we can tie all of that shit in. It's not a limited conversation, but just thinking about just first to introduce it into like, what does it mean to love Black women?
Well, I mean, I got a perspective about love. One.
You niggas been at the table for 40 minutes. You done let the gay and the transgender say crazy shit, and now you're gonna talk. What does it mean to love Black women? Nigga, 40 minutes later, you just now getting into the shit? I'm an hour and a half into my stream. I'm an hour and 40 minutes into my show. It took you 40 minutes to get to that shit, bro. You niggas talk like women.
Perspective about love. I think that love is uncontrollable. I think it's spontaneous. I think in its rarest form, you cannot contain it. And I think that's the first part. I think it belongs to everybody, and how it's received and how it's received is not up to you. But it's how you give it is up to you. But I think it's first there. Understanding what the power of love really is, because I think everybody has their perspective of what love is in my household. What love is with my woman.
Right.
As opposed to what does love mean to her. What does that mean to you? I'll tell you what it means to me. You tell me what it means to you, and let's find our way of middle ground of some sort. I think it's there. It's just trying to understand what that is, because everybody throws that shit around. It's popular, makes a lot of money. It's nice. Everybody wants it. Everybody's fighting for a variation of it.
Right.
It's trying to understand what that is, and I just think that love is not a thing that we can control. It just is. First,
I see this head nod going. I like that. Go ahead. I like it. I like it.
I'm going to combine like a couple of different topics, and it won't be in any chronological order, so just bear with me. One thing that Conscious will talk about is
So now that the subject of how black men can love black women has been brought up, the big gay nigga has something he would like to say.
and me as a black gay man, for me, love shows up is different. There's no sex attached to my care for black women. So I would say for me as a child, one of the strongest women that were in my life was my grandmother. She was someone who, she loved me with everything. She was someone who made sure that whenever I walk into a room, know that, you know, I'm not trying to sound cocky or nothing, but eyes will be on you. People will be listening to you. Whatever you want to be in your life, you can be, whether that be a president, a CEO, whether you own your own business, whether you be a millionaire, anything you want to do, you can do. And with that, my grandmother was someone, she was a banker. You know, she was someone who, she helped her community. All the people from Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas, North Little Rock, Arkansas, she knew all the millionaires, she knew all the business owners. She told people yes, no. She ran her bank, she ran her branch. She had people pull guns out on her trying to rob her. That same woman who left work, she was someone who raised two strong sons. My father's a federal investigator. My uncle, my late uncle, he was a manager of the VA for the suicide unit. She was someone who raised strong black men. And the same black men that she supported, the same black man that she fed that was also her husband, also be the same people that put their thumb on their motherfucking head. You know? So what I'm trying to say is someone who can be so strong. We also live where we're in a community where traditionally, once the white man took his thumb off of us, a lot of us put our thumb on the woman. So one thing that you talked about as far as like your dad and how
straight black men are white men, therefore they need to be controlled, punished, put in check. Remember years ago, there was an article from The Root when it said the straight black man is the white people of black people. That was a threat. As a straight black man, when these woke niggas associate you with the white men, it is because they intend harm to happen to you.
you treated your mother. I feel like one privilege it is to not be gay. Not gonna lie, I love being gay. Like, you know, like whether it's not a choice, it's not a choice, it's not a choice. But in my life,
nigga,
what I feel is
every dick you sucked was a choice. I am not trying to hear that shit. Every guy you ever blew was a choice, God damn it.
And well, guys, if I could still show you around, here is the biggest, gayest man in the world.
Wow. So gay. So gay. So gay.
For the straight men, and also like to reject what patriarchy and masculinity look like, because I had to choose how I'm going to live my life. So you know how you were talking about how your dad, he was real good with his mom, he was real good with his sisters. Yes, a lot of men, they just live based off of the moral code. You don't even know what your own motherfucking morals are. Right. A lot of you just want to have children because that's what you're taught to. You didn't get no education. You're not saying you have to get education. You have no craft. You have no skill. So all you can do is really just have fun and have children. Nigga, fuck you.
The gay man said that all you can do is have fun and have children, nigga, fuck you. Let's run that back one more time to make sure I'm not mishearing the big gay nigga. I don't want to misunderstand the big gay nigga.
You were talking about how your dad, he was real good with his mom, he was real good with his sisters. Yes. A lot of men, they just live based off of the moral code. You don't even know what your own motherfucking morals are. Right. A lot of you just want to have children because that's what you're taught to. You didn't get no education. You're not saying you have to get education. You have no craft. You have no skill. So all you can do is really just have fun and have children. Nigga, fuck you. And then another thing that I want to say is too.
You know, at some point, we really have to openly discuss how the gay community at large has levels of bitterness and resentment they hold for the straight community. I'll be the one to point it out. I don't know if you've noticed, but I think the gays low-key hate us a little bit. They hate us because we're straight. Am I crazy in pointing that out? I do think that by and large, the gay community kind of hates the straights. Kind of makes you want to stand, like make a campaign or something. You know, it's okay to be straight. And that's why they want your kid. Think about that. He really mad because niggas can make babies. You could have made a baby if you wasn't doing all that gay shit.
They just live based off of the moral code. You don't even know what your own motherfucking morals are.
Right.
A lot of you just want to have children because that's what you're taught to. You didn't get no education. You're not saying you have to get education. You have no craft. You have no skill. So all you can do is really just have fun and have children. Nigga, fuck you. And then another thing that I want to say is too, a lot of people, you know, when I said like, you know, having accolades and things like this, a lot of my friends, and especially when moving to Houston, I have such a respect because like in Arkansas, a lot of people had kids by the time that they were my age of 26. Majority of my friends, like they're between 29 to 30 to 40, you know, beautiful women, well into the careers, clocking 200,000 plus. You know, my allyship to them is supporting them whenever we're out, like I am a protector. I'm not, there's a big kind of like conversation about like, oh, gay men don't want to be treated as like poodles or whatever. Realistically, I'm 6'2", I'm 200 pounds, 215. Like it's like if a motherfucker step up to my friends, I'm going to defend them. I feel like my presence as a black gay man is to use my masculinity, me being a man, as to not only allow myself, you know, vertical, you know, promotion within life. I don't know how to coin that the right way, but also bring up my sisters with me. And that can be whether it's education.
Now, notice something here, and this is why I hate every time there's one of these conversations, like a big panel of black men talking about black male issues, and there's like this need to bring a gay voice into the conversation. And the gay voice is always on some, you niggas ain't shit, you got to do better for the women. Like, just hire a woman, bro. I mean, why do we have to do this halfway bullshit? Just bring a woman into the group and stop having this big gay man browbeat me. Like, I'm big, I'm 6'2", I am 200 pounds. So what, you want to fight? Why are you here, nigga?
Get that education, whether it's in careers, because black women are the smartest group in America. They're also the most underpaid. If you want that money, ask for it. You know, whenever you go to the interview, let them know what you want. And the same thing as far as like a job, how you can switch out a job is no different than a man. And you know how we're talking about like the moral basis of, I don't want to lose my track. The moral basis of people not knowing themselves and having babies. A lot of men don't got shit to contribute. If you can't even commit marriage to a motherfucking woman, what makes you think that she wants to commit to having a baby? That 9 to 10 months, that can fuck up that whole baby's life.
Not being supported.
Yeah, you can't.
In the same way that she was talking about, you know, asking for that promotion and things like that, because that also, when we're when we're seen as having some more control or power over in a work environment, you know, people aren't going to abuse us as much. People aren't going to, supposedly, right? Where are we advocating? You know what I'm saying? In the same way of like not being prepared for fatherhood, where are we advocating for those black women in the job, in the workplace, and making sure that they are seen in the way that they should be and empowered in the way that they should, in the same way that in fatherhood and outside of fatherhood, when you know that your homie is going to have is thinking about having kids, when you know that your brother or whoever is thinking about having kids, how are you empowering the mother who could be the mother, and how are you holding your brother or your homie accountable, and what does that even mean?
The same conversation I can say like, hey, you need to ask for it 150, 200, 175, be the same conversation like, you know, like, what's he doing? Right. You know, like, and it's like, it might be a conversation. I think also with certain conversations, it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, or whatever, you're still a man. Whenever a woman wants to open up and talk to you about certain things, that's when you want to talk about it. Like, you can't be overbearing, because with patriarchy, with masculinity, it's kind of like you trying to talk about something you want to talk about and shouldn't.
Not only did he just he totally lined up masculinity as inherently bad. Listen to what he just said.
Gay, straight, or whatever, you're still a man. Whenever a woman wants to open up and talk to you about certain things, that's when you want to talk about it. Like, you can't be overbearing, because with patriarchy, with masculinity, it's kind of like you trying to talk about something you want to talk about and shouldn't even want to talk about that. That's you exerting your masculinity over somebody. So like, whenever my friends talk about their dating, majority of my friends are introverts. They're real kind of like to themselves. They don't like to talk about their business. When they do open up, that's when I ask like, hey, like, you know, you have X, Y, and Z. is he providing you what you need? Or is he just a placeholder until that right man comes? So sometimes it will be different. It just depends. Because you got to be the person to say it.
Yeah, I would say too.
You got go ahead. No, I want to see what you're gonna say.
No, I'll go.
And placeholder might not be the right thing. It might not be the right thing to say, but
you know, I was just talking about I'm 70 years old. So I come from a whole nother era than any of you Negroes is talking about. And what I've learned, and I'm not saying I'm right.
Clifton Powell is 70
I think
years
everybody-
old. He literally watched Black America fall into the gaytriarchy. It's a gay patriarchy at this point. It's dominated by women and homosexual men. And he watched it all happen in 70 years of living.
He is right. Because there's so many levels to this. But most of this was laid on our parents' parents.
Yeah.
My father was born in 1915 and his parents were slaves. Well, his grandparents were slaves. So what I've learned is it's not your mother's fault. It's not your father's fault. It's not your fault. We were born into 450 years of post-slavery PTSD. I am 69, I'll be 70 in March. I've just learned how to love. Our parents didn't know how to love. Their parents didn't know how to love.
Nigga's 70 years old and you just learn how to love. You don't get the fuck out of my face, you useless ass nigga. 70 years old, I just learned how, and he said that shit like it was good. Or so, oh my God, these conversations, man. Niggas need to have more shame.
And if I could say anybody maybe had an edge, it was the women. That's why I celebrate Black women. I live with a psychiatrist, forensics detective, gangster, loving Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, who's just been patient with me to teach me how to love. But in closing on this, because I don't want to get too deep, I called my buddy, man. I said, I'm fucking up, bro, really bad. I'm fucking up. So I never been monogamous. So I don't fucking know
what age did you become monogamous?
Today. No, but I mean to say what it is. And we don't talk about this. We don't talk about dopamine being in a pleasant center of the brain like we talked about oxytocin is the hormone. It's called the cuddle hormone. So a lot of times we're just talking in generalities. And that's why I think what you said about counseling, because a counselor is going to get inside of this from a real, not even white people perspective, just from a scientific perspective, unless science is not wrong and the brain is not made with it. So when I hurt my girl, which I've done over and over, and I commend her for even being with me. And I said it in my podcast, and I'm gonna say this and stop. I called one of my partners who was brilliant. He said, when you hurt somebody, where you leave them is where they stay. So I think our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, the people that raised us, those men who treated the women outside the house nice, but then put the thumb on the grandmama and put the thumb on the girlfriend or whoever. They are all, it all comes from out of all of that. And I think that's what makes me excited. We're going to bring the women and the uncles and we need to bring them all in here. But go ahead.
The one thing that I just want to talk about in Luke, make sure I say that name right, pop this part out. Okay. What Luke brought up was like accountability. Like, yes, we can talk about, what our families did to us, all this, all that. But eventually, and I know white people try and say this and I really don't like that, but eventually comes a point where you have to decide, how do I want to live my life? I haven't talked to my daddy in 6 years. I don't give a fuck about what my family has gone through. I know where I will go. So it's like, you can only say that for so long. Black women are tired and, kind of like putting onto them like, hey, like, you didn't do this entirely, because everybody in here, several people.
Did your father disown you?
I don't give a fuck about. You have to decide, how do I want to live my life? I haven't talked to my daddy in 6 years.
I bet your dad was right too. Whatever it was, I bet he was right too.
I don't give a fuck about what my family has gone through. I know where I will go. So it's like, you can only say that for so long. Black women are tired.
I bet his family is decent, clean, moral people. And he just wanted to be a big, angry homosexual. And they didn't like that. They didn't like that at all.
And, kind of like putting onto them like, hey, like, you didn't do this entirely, because everybody in here, several people have talked about like, going to counseling. Have that upon yourself. Stop waiting for a woman to tell you what you need to do. Take that upon yourself.
Let me address that real quically. For me, I didn't know fucking how to
love. Can I say one more thing? No, I have to say this, because another thing that happens is too, you live your life for so long, and I'm not meaning no disrespect by this.
All right, just say it, bro.
But when you hit your 60s and your 70s, I want to be right.
Okay, but
I want to live my life right. I want someone to take care of me and protect me. And that's what a lot of women have issues with.
I'm living it right.
It's like they bring in the gay. And you know what's funny? They bring in a big, aggressive gay man to play the Black woman role. He is literally the voice of the women at the table right now.
the fuck now.
As I said,
Listen to
I
what
said
I'm saying.
60s and 70s.
Let me say this.
You'll overtalk
I'm
me.
gonna fucking overtalk you
I'm
because
good,
you're talking out
but you're
loud.
not gonna
You
disrespect
don't know
me.
what the fuck you
Oh,
talking
I am.
about. I just
I do.
love it.
I do.
You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Oh, I do.
You can't
I do.
fit.
I
You don't
do.
know it, nigga.
I do.
I'm good. You don't know what the fuck you do. I'm living. You can't tell me what the fuck I'm living, nigga. I'm living it right now. You cannot fix no shit that you don't even know what's happening.
I think there's a misunderstanding.
No, but he's generalized. You can't. No, listen, bro. Let me stop. This is what it is. Let's get to the truth of this shit.
Clifton up here about to throw hands with the big homosexual. You too old to be out here wrestling these gays in Hollywood, Clifton. I thought your wrestling gays in Hollywood years were done, bro.
You can't fix no shit unless you meet somebody who is on another level to help you elevate to understand. I'm not indicting anybody. I'm telling you what the shit is. You can't fix some shit that you don't know about, bro. You can't. And then you get there at 69 or 70 and say, I thought I was being loved all this time. That's what our parents have gone through, and that's why we all so fucked up right now.
You asked, how do we love Black women?
Yeah.
That's right here. Trust Black women and listen to Black women because they know more than we do what it is that they need.
I don't think that's true either.
As men,
There's a lot of Black women who don't know how to love.
I'm not talking about what they know how to love. I'm saying what they need as far as the reproduction.
I get that.
We're talking about, that's what we're talking about right now. Also, if we're going to use our privilege and power as men in society, how do we show up and be accountable? Like you said, the way to be accountable is to dismantle patriarchy, because patriarchy makes it so that men have the power and women do not.
But you can't get there unless you listen to him. We got to go, and you may not agree. We got to go to therapy. I should be in therapy right now. My girl should be in therapy. We all come from generations and generations, and you can't motherfucker sit here and tell me when I'm going through at 70, I just realized, but listen what I'm saying. Let's be good, bro. It's not gonna get out of control. This is real shit. Bro, this is real shit. I'm telling you, you can't love a queen. You get some of these girls out here in Queens because their daddies wasn't there. If your daddy ain't there from 12 to 25, you're going down a rabbit hole. Promiscuity, drugs. You gotta read more. You gotta stop getting so fucking defensive and read more, because I read. I know what the fuck I'm talking about because I'm living it. Until you meet a real motherfucking queen who had to figure out her trauma, you can't even learn how to love a Black woman.
So here's one thing.
That's what we got to start.
Here's one thing with because I think I agree that you can't wait until you
got to hold yourself accountable.
So
if you figure it out,
hold on.
If you figure it out, bro.
But you got to let other people talk. Hold on.
No, that's why I can't do this, bro.
I got you.
I'm on.
You can't. The arguments are important. This is how Black men talk.
The energy is.
So I want to make sure. This is what I want to make sure we're framing properly, because a lot of the time we think, because you're talking about your privilege and your power and how you use it. A lot of time we've been taught our power is how we control a situation, and we try to control that situation by dominating it, by shutting other people down, by overpowering them. And I think that is something that, I mean, monogamy, just to be real, is not the end all be all. That's not the best. It's the only way. It's not the only way to live, and it's not just men or women. It's literally, there are other ways to be. And so some people,
these niggas don't actually believe in anything. They don't have any core beliefs, any core principles. Do whatever makes everybody feel good and be nice to the hoes. That's basically their core beliefs here. And now we're coming up on 2 hours. I don't want to review this entire conversation. You watch too much of this stuff, you start to get a little cut yourself. So I think we're going to end it here. Yeah, and that's the point, right, SKC? Is a group of men who believe in nothing. Also known as the raped. These men have been mind fucked thoroughly, and they can never get right again. You can never fix these guys. You're just going to have to start over with a whole new group of niggas. But I think I'm going to wrap this one up for today. Hey, I will put the link to the rest of the show in the chat if you guys want to follow up and play the rest of that conversation. But I think I'm done. You say you actually want to see how it ends? I think I know how it ends. It ends in Diddy oil. The whole conversation, you let me know. How about that? I'm putting my money on Diddy oil. The conversation, how else could it end but in Diddy oil? They weren't setting up for anything else but a round of Diddy oil shenanigans. Like, yeah. See, yeah, I'm going with American Man on this one. I felt like I've done enough. We're going to get out of here before we've done too much damage. I've said a lot of bad words. We listened to a lot of horrible takes, and I think it's over. I think we've had enough, you guys. So hit that like button, guys. I will catch you later. I'll probably stream again with another topic, but I just had to talk about this. This was insane.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help Black people.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.